Hello everybody, I am PsyStarcraft and I have another StarCraft 2 commentary for all of you. It's going to be a Zerg versus Zerg on Naga Caverns. In the bottom left, we have FOXMoon. MOOnGLaDe, such a good Warcraft 3 player, one of the best Night Elf players in the world. He's won several tournaments. He beat out Grubby in the finals of a specific tournament, I forget which one it was. But he has made the transition to StarCraft. He hails from Brisbane, Australia, I believe. I'm not sure if he's still there now. He's actually in Code A of the GSL, and I forget how he did. He got knocked out, obviously, because it's pretty deep right now, but such a good Zerg player, surprising a lot of people with his skill. Second player is Moon, also known as FOXMoon, of the Korean team Fox. Now, this guy was also a Warcraft 3 player, and if I have my information correct, he's the highest paid Warcraft 3 player in history. He's won the most money playing Warcraft 3 of anyone in history, and he also likes to burrow his banelings extremely poorly. When I watch this guy in the GSL, he just, when he burrows banelings, mainly against Terran, he's got them like spread out, like dun 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 dun. What's that gonna do? I mean, bio balls aren't this big ever. You want to spread them out a lot closer, so you get two of them in a clump of a bio ball and kill the Marines that way. But yeah, that's just a pet peeve of mine. Identical builds. I'm not missing too much. The pool is slightly faster for FOXMoon. Slightly slower for MOOnGLaDe. Why do I even have to say slightly slower? Obviously, if one's faster, the other's going to be slower. That's like a stupid commentator thing, you know? They just feel like they have to fill empty space with that kind of garbage. But yeah, it is. I don't know if I mentioned this. It is Friday morning, 3:30 a.m. And I'm really looking forward to the Zerg versus Zerg. I haven't seen it. I didn't release a video yesterday on Thursday. This one will go up Friday, which is today, or this is Thursday night, however you want to look at it. But I'll make up for that by releasing a video or two this weekend. I promise. I promise. I know I've made a lot of promises, especially like on that Super Meat Boy video and stuff like that. I promise I will hold those promises. That doesn't make sense. Oh my god, I'm digging myself a hole. I need to burrow some banelings in it and explode myself. Doesn't even make sense either. I'm done. I should just quit. I'm done. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyhoozle. Alright, so we've got some deviation here. We've got MOOnGLaDe going with the Baneling. They're both getting speed, they're both getting a lot of lings. So if we check out the ling count, it's actually fairly similar. MOOnGLaDe with 2 more lings, 1 less drone, and this is just how identical it is. You can see where the discrepancies are. More lings, less drones. Less lings, more drones. And we are seeing another baneling nest, this time from Moon, slightly slower. He's going to have his banelings later, but his economy is going to be slightly better because he's producing banelings slower. And if we check out the production, I'm trying to like multitask like crazy here. More banelings from MOOnGLaDe. Oh, he is warping them, leaving 1 on the tower to see any incoming overlords, any incoming lings. Moon has done some scouting, and he saw the baneling nest. Has MOOnGLaDe seen the other baneling nest? No, he hasn't. But, you know, I think he can expect that they're going to come. 5 banelings coming in. 2 queens from Moon. Now, let's check this out. They both have 2 queens. They know that's necessary to block the ramp or to, you know, just help out. They're really good against banelings and zerglings. He's going to block the ramp. 2 banelings coming in. Perfect block, and no energy for a transfusion, but they have 1 armor, which is very effective against lings, and their damage is decent, 175 lives. So that was a failed attempt by MOOnGLaDe, and that failed attempt, man, he's down 2 drones now, and that is a huge deal in early game ZVZ. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this turns out. 15 to 10, 5 to 3, Moon in every single advantage, and by Moon I mean FOXMoon, not MOOnGLaDe. Is he going to surround this queen? Oh, that's such a big loss. He's going to surround the queen off creep, losing more zerglings than MOOnGLaDe lost, but still, surrounding that queen was huge. Oh my goodness. Now, in normal situations, I would say this is GG. He just lost both of his queens to careless surrounds. He carelessly brought them out there, didn't have enough lings, didn't have banelings, but this game does go on longer. I'm going to spoil it. Now you spoil it yourself if you looked at the bar on the bottom where it has the timer, so don't you be complaining. 21 to 14. MOOnGLaDe is going to have a hard time scraping his way back into this game, but we'll see how long he can survive. Australians, man, they do everything opposite, so mOOnGLaDe, maybe he likes to lose before he wins. Who knows? I'm full of them today, aren't I? Moon, FOXMoon, spreading creep. No crappily burrowed banelings at the moment. Meanwhile, mOOnGLaDe is replacing his queens. He's replaced his first queen. Now he's droning up really hard, and he needs to drone up hard because he is so far behind. I mean, you either have to make tons of units, go for some kind of bust, harassment, something like that, or make tons of drones. If you do anything in between, you're going to fail. Now, notice in Zerg vs. Zerg the Overlord placement. Extremely aggressive Overlord placement. For example, well, let's check out this. Oh, is he going to land that Baneling? No, but one Zergling does get in. I don't think Moon even realized he got that Zergling in there. So check out the Overlords. This is mOOnGLaDe's Overlords everywhere on the map, so aggressive, and the reason this works is because mutas are tier 2, they're so far down the tech path, and they're not really a go-to unit for Zerg versus Zerg. And secondly, Queens or Hydras, which are the other units that can attack air, either you don't get Hydras, which is pretty common, it's mainly just a roach fest, or the Queens just can't get to the Overlords fast enough without creep. So you'll see each player is just, you know, Overlords in all the key positions. FOXMoon is actually being very careful about putting Overlords down here. So is mOOnGLaDe actually. Just because a lot of players, you know, if you support a queen that just kind of wobbles her way out here, the queen can outrun the Overlord. 0.47 speed compared to, well, I can't look at the speed. Oh, 0.94 speed. So they're about twice as fast as Overlords, so they can kill an Overlord even if they're off creep. Harvester is still extremely lopsided. This might just be kind of a waiting game until, you know, Moon's advantage just compiles so much that mOOnGLaDe can't do anything about it, no matter what kind of tactics, how much macro he employs. Losing those two queens was so huge. I mean, if we check out the units lost, he's only lost 300 more resources. So, you know, that doesn't indicate a whole lot, but two of them being queens, oh man, that's so bad. His expansion, still no expansion, 22 to 32. I have a feeling Moon is going to pump out maybe one or two more waves of roaches and just go for it. Hope he gets some lucky banelings on these Zerglings here and just, you know, cross his fingers. But Moon has some banelings of his own, so if he can bust the banelings on mOOnGLaDe's lings, or just bust the banelings, weaken up the roaches, I have a feeling this is going to be really bad for mOOnGLaDe. Poor Australian, loses to the Korean. Haven't seen this, I'm just assuming he's going to lose. Now moving out, if we check out the units tab, mOOnGLaDe does have 6 more roaches, a few less lings, a few less banelings, but you have to remember, just because he has more roaches up here, doesn't mean he has more roaches up here, and this is why, this reinforcement. It's just, whatever you see up here is kind of deceiving when you are the attacker, and that's why attacking is brings you at such a disadvantage, just because the rally is just long. Oh boy, so many roaches, banelings, oh, so much damage. Normally banelings aren't good against roaches, but that was a shit ton of damage. mOOnGLaDe forced to run back. Check out the units now, 18 to 10. mOOnGLaDe down by 8 roaches, and all of his roaches are weak. He's running off 8 less harvesters. Well, I was going to say he might have been killing some, but I think that was just a building being built. Yeah. He's now down 16 harvesters. That was a huge wave of drones from Moon because he has repelled the attack. In that situation, you can either go mass roaches, Zerglings, try to counterattack, or just kind of go the safer route and go eco. I prefer to go eco as well. mOOnGLaDe frantically pumping out roaches. 2 more on the way. Does he have enough to hold this off? Even if he does, he might just outright GG. It's going to be close. 6 roaches to 8 roaches, 7 roaches. But a little bit of micro going down from Moon, actually. Not too much micro from mOOnGLaDe. Now remember, both of these players are War 3 players. So micro was a big part of their game. I think they might be shunning those habits a little bit. I didn't see a lot of micro there. StarCraft, more of a macro-oriented game for the most part. Most of the micro is revolved around harassment and early game. Baneling micro, that kind of stuff. Moon retreating with these roaches. Let's see. I'm going to take a guess. How many harvesters is Moon ahead? I'm going to say 46 to 25. Oh my gosh, 52 to 20. Pretty close on the difference, but the numbers were a bit off. Yeah, this is just so one-sided at this point. Poor MOOnGLaDe. That first queen, those 2 queens that just went down, it's just such a big blow early game. You need those queens as a Zerg player. I'm actually gonna speed this up for you guys. Normally I wouldn't speed it up, but this is obvious what's gonna happen. Harvester count almost twice as many, over twice as many actually. And he's actually not getting too many roaches. I don't know what's up with that. He's got so much money. He supply capped himself. Careless, man. MOOnGLaDe, are you gonna come back into this? No, you're not. There's no way. I'm surprised though. He's only down 6 on roaches. What is Moon doing? He must be producing tons of roaches. There we go. There we go. 29 to 15. That's what I've been waiting to see. That was really surprising. He actually supply locked himself for a long time, and he was ahead on so many harvesters, but it took him so long to actually produce an army to represent his harvester lead. 38 to 15. This is gonna be so darn one-sided. I'm afraid to watch. Does he have any upgrades? 1-1 compared to 0-1. And here comes the massacre. Is MOOnGLaDe gonna let his roaches die, or is he gonna rage quits? Oh, he's got a couple spines. It's not gonna be enough. Moon moving forward to make sure all of his roaches can attack. And lucky 7 roaches. Lucky 7. 7 roaches surviving. And that's game. And I've said it many times. It boiled down to the 2 queens dying. Slippery slope, man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kind of an interesting ZVZ. Baneling opener didn't really work out for MOOnGLaDe. Moon kind of used his Banelings more defensively and used his Zerglings offensively, and it seemed to work out. So that's it. I love you all. Look forward to a game this weekend, and love you long time, I suppose. Later. Yeah. I think the reason it's so entertaining for me is because I don't even know. What am I saying? God damn.